Can you hear me? Let me know down below if you can hear me, because then we got 50% of this little show going. But first of all, let me know. How are you lovely, lovely, sexy-looking people doing? All 10 of you. I know. I mean, these days when we hardly stream, I'm so unreliable. But I am happy you are here. Tom B, how you doing? We are live indeed. I love these live streams. How you doing, my dear friend Vex and Hakan? Hello from Germany. Where have you been, brother? I think you went on a little crypto winter vacation, maybe down to Mexico. Have yourself a few of those Bahama Mamas. And you know what? Well done. I'm happy you're back. Thank you for being here. And let me know how you're doing. Shahida, meet my soul brother. But yeah, Hakan, let me know, because I think the best things you can do when the market is not really going anywhere is take yourself a well-deserved vacation. What are we going to talk about today? Well, we're going to have a little bit, view of the markets. We like to do that. And then, of course, I know you all love my technical, analytical skills, right? And of course, we're always going to look a little bit of the institutional adoption. We're not going to look at the World Economic Forum. I am also going to touch up a little bit on the Ukraine-Russia news, because I do believe that this war is coming to an end. And then, of course, we also got a little giveaway going. And then there's one thing we're really going to talk about. I just want to mention, is if there's one YouTuber that I really respect a lot, then it is Coin Bureau from, Guy. Guy is your guy for crypto. But I gotta say one thing. Guy, he's really good at summarizing summaries, and he should stick to that. When it comes to investing, unfortunately, Guy, he's always a little bit behind, let's say, the overall market. And he's also always, I want to say that because I was watching here today his latest video update, and news update, and it was so negative. And then I was like, well, I mean, come on, you are the biggest crypto channel, right? And I actually like the work that he does. But then I'm like, now you're telling everybody to go out. You're like, you're being negative, and we are down like 70, 80%, 90% in some good coins. What's wrong with you, brother? You're not, you do not belong to the sexy looking people, I think. But, so what I wanted to say also with Coin Bureau, you got to watch out because he was invested into Terra. He was exposed to FTX. And he is actually, when it comes to his investment, let's say, portfolio, he's a bit of a retail investor, behind the curve. Anyway, I have lots of respect to him. I hope, he probably doesn't even watch it. So I want to say, Coin Bureau, the best for summarizing summaries. Anyway, I think we need to get this started. Crypto Granny, how are you doing? Wo ist der Nuttensprudel und die Kekse? Anyway, let's go. Yeah, I'll just... Wow, a little frog here in the right? I've still got a little cold. Anyway, we need to start. And I think it goes a little something like this. I want to welcome you to Crypto Never Sleeps. And in case you're new to this channel, you want to stay on top of the crypto world, well, then do me a favor, hit like, smash, and subscribe so that you can be notified every time we upload new videos, so that you can, and this is important to me, protect your wealth, preserve your wealth, and ultimately increase your wealth. My name is Nico Arachi, and I'm the host of the littlest crypto channel on the interweb. Oh, let's go. So here we are, and we gotta say overall, right? It is just nicer to be in crypto when the market is moving and we are seeing ups. So probably also soon we're gonna move away from these 15-minute little charts here. We're still seeing that the market is correlating, but we're seeing Bitcoin is up 0.24%, but at 23,000, heading for that big 25,000. We got Ethereum at 1,600, however down 0.9. Then we got Cardano up 1.17, still around 0.38, right? I mean, it's really Cardano needs to do something. And then we got Dot as a little lacking the connection to the people, right? Maybe Dot likes to connect the dots, but we're lacking a little bit of let's say, looking for some good news, some happy news. And now, I know what you all came for, to look at my technical analysis here. I mean, who does it better than I do, right? Anyway, when we're looking, this is always this shit here. Daily, weekly, of course. It is interesting to see, and okay, then we just need to refresh it here. Boom. Sorry for this, guys. It looked drunk, that chart. Too many Bahama mamas here. So here we go. Now finally. So you'll be looking at the weekly with the 7-day moving average. And what we are seeing is, it has been quite a few explosive weeks, to say the least. Few explosive weeks. Now, as we also see, obviously, the 7-day moving average is pulling up, which is, in that sense, not a bad thing, as we are I still think if you want to stay safe and you do a little bit of a more short-term trading, then as long as we are above the 7-day moving average. And I know that the question, remains, are we going to see the 12,000? Are we going to see the 8,000? And I don't know. I think it's difficult. It's hard to say. And remember, we're not the short-term traders. But as long as for now, it is nice to see that we are seeing an increase in volume, right? And because that is what usually has happened in the past. Then when we are seeing the bottom of the bear market, and we are starting to see a trend reversal, that's basically also when we see an increase in volume. So that's good. There are also a few things that I wanted to touch up on, and that is also regarding. I mentioned this last time. It's regarding the volume. Now, it is of course nice to see that we have gone through the 1 trillion, right? And that may sound like a lot. I think it's a symbolic figure, and that's good. But just remember that this price is basically the market cap of the entire crypto market, of course, but it is based on the bid and ask price. So this means that the last traded price of any coin, for example, if we have Bitcoin here at 23,000 and there are 18 million in circulation, this would assume that every Bitcoin in circulation, you would be able to offload it at 23,000. And we all know that's not going to work, right? So I think that the market cap, when it comes to crypto, is very, very misleading. I think it's much lower. But why do I want to point that out? I want to point that out because if we compare it to, the US stock market with 40 trillion and the US bond market with 46 trillion and the crypto market, officially with 1 trillion, but we know, as I just said, pointed out, with the market cap could be a lot lower. That is why I want all of us to go away with this thesis that the cryptocurrency market is going to continue its correlation with the traditional markets. I think this is a horrible thing that people have been focusing on the last 6 months. I think it has nothing to do, and I think I'm going to be right, and it's going to be one of my predictions for 2023. The crypto market is going to completely uncorrelate itself from the traditional markets. That's how I see it. And remember, it's also because I think the future of finance is being built on, in front of our eyes, and it's being built on the blockchain. And we need this transition. I think that the traditional market and the monetary system is going to implode. And that's why we need the transition, which also means we need all that sweet, lovely, sexy looking money going from the traditional markets into the future of finance. Yeah. How do you like them apples? Anyway, I think it's time to go in and see if anybody's here on the Little Crypto channel on the interweb. Oh, Lord. So let's see here. Steve Webb is here. Good to see you, and Crypto again, of course. Prosecco, always in my kitchen. What about the cakes, the cookies? Thomas Kliman, how are you doing? Good to see you. And Michael, thank you for being here. Blockchain Betty is here. Where is Cherry? Where's Cherry? Cherry, she always, at the bar, the bar, Black Mamba, just around the corner from Kakadu. Anyway, we always try to get Cherry out of there, but what can you do? Before we start, let's just, we're starting with our giveaways, so please participate in the littlest, I like to say that, the littlest giveaway. So all you got to do is you got to, fill out, you got to subscribe, maybe watch a video or two, and then participate. And it's good to have a BUSD wallet. So please, it helps the channel. And yeah, so please participate in that. And yeah, I like what you're saying, Vex, on correlation. Yeah, I mean, this is I really believe we're going to start seeing an uncorrelation to the traditional markets. And I think everybody's, I don't even know where this came from, that people are starting to they're putting too much emphasis trying to narrow down the crypto market with the traditional markets. But anyway, let's see. I could also be wrong. But let's start. And it's going to be a little bit of a recap of last week. And if there's any questions, then let me know. I think it's important. We are going to talk a little bit about Ukraine towards the end. And I want to point that out because I think that Ukraine is going to have a major impact on how the year 2023 is actually going to end, right? So if we're going to kind of end the war or contain it or manage people's expectation, and then I think it's also easier to understand how to allocate and invest. So it's from that perspective. Anyway, let's get it going. We've talked about these historical corrections, but it's hard to say. Are we gonna go back to the 12? I don't know. It could be, but if we're gonna see 12, my prediction was 12,000 by December 2022. Now we got the 15,000. Not very off, but still a bit. Sometimes it's when you scale out, and that is maybe also important to do sometimes. Try to scale out, and then remember when I made the prediction of 12,000, that was in January, right around here, up here in the middle. So yeah, I predicted 12, right? We were around 40 or something. So from that time to go to 15 is from, it's not that I want to make myself better or worse than I am. I just want to say, I think this was as close as it got. And I'm not sure we're going to go back. If we're going to go back, I'm not going to take the claim, and today that was the 12,000 I predicted, because I predicted for 12. But I think it could be a quickie. And then I would certainly recommend to buy the dip, even though everything I say and do here is, of course, not financial advice. I was speaking in the beginning of our good friend Guy from Coin Bureau, and it surprised me a little bit that he, in his latest video, really was enormous. I mean, he is really spreading FUD. And as I've said before, he always seems to be too late. He's always a few months later. I actually think the Guy and BitBoy, they are probably the worst crypto investors we have out there. But because I try to take the contrary approach, right? And currently there's blood on the street. There's so much blood on the street, right? I mean, everybody's talking about crypto. Nobody wants to hear about crypto, right? Sister Shelly and brother Jamal, they left a long time ago, right? They don't even call me anymore, not even for Christmas, right? So the retail investors are gone. And the mainstream media, we're still having the effects of the negativity. And then, as I also said last time, we got some, people were thinking DeFi was going to be decentralized finance, but I think it's very much with the new with this rollout of the CBDC, that is very much a centralized financial situation, right? So we are going to see a lot of regulation, but I think that we can benefit from this. So what I wanted also to, I'm going to point one more thing out there with Guy from the Coin Bureau, and please go in and watch his latest news from yesterday. They also have some guy who's doing technical analysis, and that guy is really even worse than me. Try to hear what this guy is talking about. He's talking 5 minutes. I tried to listen 3 times. I simply couldn't comprehend what he was speaking about. So this also shows the quality of his understanding of investing, Coin Bureau. So remember, listen to them for the summaries of a summary. And but he, of course, he could be right. I mean, but that's how I see it. I want to move into well, let's go and have a little look before we go into some news. Let's go and have a look at the prices of today. Maybe chit chat about one coin or two. Let's see what's going on here. There's always something. There we go. Because I also want to see what are we seeing here today. So overall market, it's nice when the facts, it could be a bull trap and so on, but there's a lot of volume in the market, and the fact that there's a lot of volume, things are happening, and I think to the upside, and that's what I like here. And what I also very much like here is I'm not logged in. That is just of course always great. Need the watch list. On this note, I'm also going to say, and I've said that basically in every stream, it is, however, more important than ever that you really educate yourself and that you stick to quality. You see, now, even if we look here at the top 10, right? I mean, we don't have in this watch list, we don't have the stable coins. If you go back and look at the top 10 prior, back in 2016 and 2017, a lot of them are not here anymore, right? Remember Dash and Litecoin and there were a few. So I am actually going to make one prediction regarding who's not going to be in the top 10 in 2025. So right now we got Bitcoin, Ethereum, we got Tether, we got BNB, of course, stablecoin USDC, Ripple, Binance, Cardano, Doge, and Solana. I pretty much predict that XRP is not going to be in the top 10 by 2025. So that's, so I want you to watch out. Be careful, right? Anyway, let's see what's going on here in the last few days. Solana has been on a good recovery. I like it. Polygon Matic. I like Polygon Matic. However, there's been, it seems it has a pretty high valuation and it has a lot of competition. So I don't know if Polygon, we actually wanted to make a video, so I made a little bit of research on it. So I can only say that from now on, we're probably not gonna, we're finished, we're done for now with Polygon Matic. And let me just see here what else. Uniswap, lovely, lovely, lovely. Get yourself some unis in the right pocket, in the left pocket, and in the back pocket. It is going to be the DeFi, decentralized, automated market maker, call it what you want, of the future of finance. Chainlink, of course, we love Chainlink, right? So Bitcoin Cash, I think, has a lot of potential, but quality over quantity. Uniswap is quality. Chainlink. And here we're going to talk about Stellar Lumens. We're actually going to make a video this week, or I think tomorrow. We are adding Stellar to the portfolio. Or adding. I think we actually sold them. So tomorrow we're going to add a few Stellars, just so you know. Filecoin is also good. I mean, Filecoin has been around for a while, right? The first decentralized storage. You know the deal, you know the game. Quant. I don't have some latest up news on that. Algorand, we added that. We're also going to make a video on VeChain. I still think VeChain has lots of potential. Decentralized, I think is good. Aave, DeFi, right? These are also the ones that are really, they've very much been carrying the market, right? Let's go in and maybe have a look at Aave, what's been going on there. Big believer in Aave. They have a finger everywhere when it comes also to NFTs. And when it comes to NFTs, because, they're going to tokenize real world assets, right? So if we look at it on a weekly, but if we look at it on a daily and scroll out, look at this lovely thing. Right? It's really been taking off. And I'm happy to see that because, I have really been trying in the last, I would say 4 or 5 months, trying to almost be a cheerleader for DeFi, because I was under the impression that DeFi will be the first, let's say, industry coins and the top quality ones to get us out of the bear market. And I think we're seeing across the board when it comes to these top quality DeFi coins, we are seeing exactly that. So, yeah, Aave, love it. Phantom, also good. Things. Terra Classic, no, we just have it on the watch list. We don't want anything about that. Theta, of course. Infrastructure, Web 3.0, right? We need it. Chili's, yeah, we will speak about that later. Graph, yes, is good. Infrastructure, we need that. Curve, of course, right? Maker, of course. IOTA I love IOTA and we hold it, you know that. So nothing to say there. Synthetics has been doing good. We need to do a proper research on Thorchain Rune. What's going on there? Not too much. Optimism. Good coin. I mean, that's our. Remember, layer 2. We need, and this is why when I added in the beginning, I'm saying, maybe Matic, Polygon Matic, they I don't know if they, they got some competition in the, around, and Optimism is one of them. So I think Optimism could be a very promising coin for the future. Engine on the wall, of course. We made a video on 1inch. As I said, I mean, they're generating revenue. And as we're going to see the market pick up, once we're going to see implementation of the Web 3.0, mass adoption, 1inch is going to be, from my point of view, sexy looking market leader. Helium, a no-go. Boom, we're going to take it away. The reason why I'm saying that is because, I mean, taking even off the watch list, there's been some negativity around it. So you got to be very selective. And I'm also updating our portfolio. So that's why we are now launching these videos, as you probably see, where we are, adding. So we can all together now follow it to each other together. CeeLo good, Gala good, I think. Arweave, of course, decentralized storage, right? We also need to do a focus more on Polkadot because they are too slow, but I think they are here to stay. Okay, that's for that now. Yeah, we gotta move on. If any questions, let me know. Back to the. So there we go. So let's go in and look at what news we got. Not particularly any real exciting. CBDC regulation, remember, there are some news here. Russia are beginning to work on CBDC settlement system as sanctions endure. And now you got to listen to this. This is a contradiction in itself. Russia began to work on CBDC settlement system as sanctions endure. I mean, the CBDC settlements, the rollout of the central bank digital currency has nothing to do with no sanctions or war. You see, politically and geopolitically and war, many countries may not agree on many things, but when it comes to this, the future of finance, they are all together forever. Love, nothing but love there. So, yeah, take that. Don't forget that. Anyway, so they're gonna. So Russia's central bank is reportedly set to begin developing a cross-border settlement system using a CBDC amid ongoing sanctions in response to its invasion of Ukraine. Yeah, the plans to move forward with Russia's digital ruble are expected to come in the first quarter of 2023. So we see 2023 is the implementation, the rollout, really where I think we're going to see the infrastructure of the Web 3.0. And I mean, and the Web 3, the infrastructure of the Web 3.0 is being built in order to cater to the central bank digital currency. I know we don't like it because it's a programmable currency, but we're here to make money, right? Some of the news, that's why I also said that Stellar is, from my point of view, it's a top protocol. So what happened here is that Stellar Development Foundation, they've become the newest member of the United States Commodity Futures Trading Commission, and CFTC Global Markets Advisory Committee. I mean, that sounds not bad, right? So SDF supports the Stellar blockchain, which is used for crypto fiat transfers. The foundation will be represented on the committee by Chief Operating Officer Jason Chipala. And he's saying that they will highlight the role of stablecoins in the digital asset markets and real-world use cases, including leveraging stablecoins in the delivery of humanitarian aid. I mean, it's so good that they are all so much for peace and humanity and equality and all them goodies. Stellar joins crypto-oriented GMAC members, CoinFund, Uniswap Labs, and the Chamber of Digital Commerce. Traditional finance giants, including HSBC, Goldman Sachs, and BlackRock, are also represented on the 36-member committee. And you see, Stellar is a coin that not many talk about, but Stellar has actually already, for example, the CBDC in Ukraine is going to be launched by Stellar, right? I've said that many times. So, love it. What else do we have here? So Davos launched blockchain project aims to be the Swift of stablecoins and CBDC. Red Date, I don't know. Red Date Technology, the blockchain infrastructure firm that is also leading one of China's blockchain efforts, launched the Universal Digital Payment Network January 19, 2022. And the release didn't disclose which banks were taking part in but Deutsche Bank, HSBC, Standard Chartered, the Bank East Asia, and app banks were represented on a panel at the UDPN launch in Davos. Yeah, the state, well, that's good. Let's see. We wish them lots of success and all them goodies. Japan, of course, also moving towards. So Japanese FSA expects to allow certain stablecoins by June 2023. Wow, which stablecoin do you think they're gonna be welcoming? Probably, well, I can already tell you, USDC Circle. That's what I think. Anyway, so Japanese new regulation allowing investors to trade using stablecoins like Tether are expected to be adopted no later than in June 2023. And the Financial Service Agency is working on lifting the ban on the domestic distribution of stablecoins, planning to allow certain stablecoins later this year. They're just waiting to get the go-ahead, from the elite, from good old USFA. Also, the authority also stressed that there's no chance of knowing whether major stablecoins like Tether or USDC will be allowed. FSA does not provide any opportunity to access such information before the decision is made. Of course. Very good. What else do we have here? So, there's some, there's been a little bit of rumors around Binance. I actually think, this is just my point of, my feeling. I think Binance is rock solid, but so Binance Swift banking partners set to ban USD transfers below 100,000 K. So just in case you also were informed, if you're a retail client there, of potential incoming service disruption that may halt on and off-ramp payment transfers. I mean, this is not really the news you come to me for, right? But anyway, thank you. Thank you, Crypto Dima and Charity. This is maybe something big. Crypto lender Genesis files for Chapter 11 bankruptcy. And I don't know if you know Genesis. I think they were also, well, I mean, they are huge. And this is, I don't know if this is really good or clean out. Is it, it's a big thing actually, and it's not really getting as much as attention as some other things we've seen. But so Genesis Capital filing for bankruptcy protection, estimating liabilities in the range of 1 billion to 10 billion and assets at the same level. So the company plans a dual-track process which will pursue sale, capital raise, and or an equitization transaction, and enable the business to emerge under new ownership. Let's see how that's going to plan out. Now, you see, this, I don't know if this is really has a direct connection, but this is, of course, something that's also not so good here, right? So we got the Winklevoss twins there, and they're also running into some problems, and they were also working with the with the owner of Genesis, which is this digital currency group, and they're having some problems there. I don't know if you followed up on that, but anyway, so the Winklevoss twins here, the co-founders of Gemini, they wrote, it's actually a week ago or something, they wrote an open letter to the board of Digital Currency Group saying that CEO Barry Silbert was unfit to run the company. And I can't really say what impact it's going to have on the overall market. I think we've seen most of, the problems they have already, such as Terra and then FTX and so on. I think even if this is going to go down, I don't really think it's going to have a huge impact. But anyway, in January 10th, in the letter Winklevoss, they claimed that Silbert and Genesis Global Capital had defrauded more than 340,000 users who were a part of Gemini's Earn program. And the letter followed on January 2nd appeal on Twitter to Silbert directly, in which the Gemini co-founder said Genesis owed Gemini 900 million. Accusing hiding. Yeah, so this is, but anyway, now, so Genesis the Firefly, so there we go. I don't think it's going to have an overall impact on the future of finance. That's how I see it. But of course, it's sad, and, let them fight. Then, what else? We got South Korea regulators target Big Hump in a new probe on January tax. Yeah, some little problems there. So, very interesting. And, yeah, let's just go to the chit chat, and then let's end with Ukraine. I think that's actually interesting today. So let me see if anyone is still here. And in case, yeah, let's just, here we are. Let me just have a sip of my Bahama Mama. So let me see. Any questions? Not really, right? Tuesday is the most fun day of the week. It is very quiet, but I'm happy we got 27 people. Wow, I love it. Okay, so let's go into Ukraine, and I think that the Ukraine news, I think they're turning into a bit of a circus, a true circus. I mean, a laughable circus. But I respect Jimmy so much for saying words about the Ukrainian leadership that I'm not allowed to say.
So there you go. There's your piece of shit Ukrainian president who everybody still thinks is a hero because they watch the news and think it's real. Congratulations, you dumb fucks.
That's what I think too. But you see, this, I've now been saying, I do believe that this war is coming to an end. And even though we're still going to read in the media that US is supporting and everybody's supporting it, they're just going to support and support and support and support. But in different than they did before. And I like here to, for example, now there's big talks about tanks, right? Ukraine, they need tanks, motherfucking tanks, a lot of tanks. And when you then go in and see how the US and Europe and, then they will come out and say, yeah, we will, and we're ready and we can send. But then when you don't need to read very far below the lines, then you get shit like this, that Germany, because they were receiving pressure from NATO allies, they have now given permission to send Leopard tanks to Ukraine. And Rheinmetall, they said they could supply 139 tanks. Now that sounds okay if that's just from Germany, because they would need probably around 600, right? But then when you just then go down here in the second line here, then the manufacturer said it's able to deliver 29 tanks by April, May. Well, we were supposed to see, was it a huge offensive here in March, right? And so anyways, they can deliver 29 by April, May, and then a further 22 by the end of the year, and 88 older Leopard within an unspecified time frame. So it looks like Ukraine simply are not gonna get they are gonna get the weapons, but they're gonna get it little by little. When the West and NATO are good and ready, then they're gonna get them. So, what do I think is gonna happen to Zelensky and Ukraine? I was pointing this out here on the last stream, and I didn't have time to end it. So I do wanna say this is how I think the future looks for Ukraine, and maybe even for the dear Zelensky. Now, I don't know if you remember, but in the beginning of 2000, NATO and the UN, they invited Georgia and Ukraine and said that EU will always have an open door for Ukraine and Georgia. So we saw in the beginning of the 2000s, we saw Mikhail Saakashvili, who was educated in the US. He was the leader of the Rose Revolution. And he went in and he made a peaceful revolution in Georgia, and he kicked the pro-Russian president out of the office, and he became the man of the year, right? He was even speaking to the United Nations, and he was addressing the UN Assembly. He was everywhere. He was kissy with President Bush, and having dinner with Merkel and even Condoleezza Rice. But the funny thing is, Georgia never became a part of EU. Never. So when they were talking about that they wanted to apply for membership, here we can see Georgia, it's very small. What did Russia do? They went in and annexed Abkhazia and annexed South Ossetia. Now that took basically a few days. That was it. And it was over. However, 10 years later, or how many years later, Saakashvili, he got arrested, he's in jail, and now he's in the crazy house, in the mental hospital. What a success. So I think that if we look at that story and put it and compare it a little bit to our dear friend here in Ukraine, I think there are some similarities, right? See, in 2021, Ukraine was preparing to apply for EU membership for 2024 in order to join the European Union. And I think that what our good friend here, Zelensky, he has done is that he has basically sold out the entire country, right? I mean, all them weapons that are coming in to Ukraine has to be paid. And how is it going to be paid back to the West? Because Ukraine doesn't have any money, right? But they got land, they got some natural resources. So that's why BlackRock has been authorized to set up a Ukrainian reconstruction fund. So a lot of this new money that we are seeing coming from Europe and the US, where they're saying they're going to support Ukraine, doesn't actually come in forms of weapons. It comes in form of money into this BlackRock administrated reconstruction fund that is then going to go in and buy on pennies on the dollar entire Ukraine's, transportation companies, land, the natural resources, because Zelensky, he did sign that nice privatization law into act. Now, so it remains to be seen, is Zelensky really a man of the people? Is he really, when he's seeing he's not going to get all those weapons, going to try to call out the West and say the idiots and this and that? Or is he a part of it? That I do not know. But what is happening now is that they're not going to get the weapons, and it's becoming clearer and clearer, even from the people within Ukraine, that this war will not be won. It won't be won, and there won't be no big offensive. So I think this is gonna kind of go down in the, down in the memory lane of old disputes, and things are kind of gonna move on. That's all I got to say about that. Let me know what you think about it. And I gotta go because in 4 minutes, we're gonna have a power shot. No more power, no electricity. Remember, I'm still in Ukraine. So I also said, sometimes, okay, just on a personal note, sometimes I say I'm going to leave Ukraine, and I am leaving Ukraine, but it takes longer for me to find an apartment and a place to settle in France. And believe it or not, even though there's war in Ukraine, when the light is on, the Wi-Fi is much better than in many of these locations that I've been looking at in France. Anyway, guys, I love all of you, and stay safe and stay the way you are. If I don't stream as much, then, I always try to give you the most important thing. Quality over quantity. You got to be extraordinarily careful. Really. Because quality over quantity will win. I'll see you soon. Stay strong. And And you know what? That's all I got to say about that.